he didn't open it inside because there was no evidence of it spilled anywhere. He took it outside onto the lawn, and once he was out there, he managed to unscrew the lid. Quite a complex task, even for advanced primates like humans. And once he'd taken the lid off, the magnesium powder, he ate some of it. It was wild berry flavour from memory, and then proceeded to eat the little sachet here that says, "Do not eat." So, well, I'll show you the view. So this is the view. Can you see the view? It's quite nice. That is called Geograph Bay. And that is a vineyard. And that is a trampoline and a rock climbing wall. And these flowers are my current favourites. This came from a friend of mine who sent me some seeds in a packet. And they're super cool. And I don't know what they're called, but I really like them. And I found some, oh, see these ones? These are native Australian ones. They're a bit sick. See, they've got a little bit of this business going on. But I think they're beautiful. See? Seed pods. Interesting. Yes, so I went bushwalking yesterday and I collected a whole bunch of seeds, and I have put them in a press, this one here, which technically is for my 5-year-old daughter, but I just did it myself. And once that's done, we're going to put it in a picture frame. This one here, which I thought was a flower press, a wooden flower press. That would have been better than that cardboard one. But in fact, it is just a well-marketed picture frame and not a flower press at all. So that's okay. I did spend a lot of money on that without realizing it. And here's some other flowers that my mum picked. I think these are marigolds, but don't quote me on that because I don't really know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to non-native flowers. But I do know that this is a feather from a red-tailed black cockatoo, and the name for that in the Noongar dialect, which is the Aboriginal language from where we live in the southwest of Western Australia, is karak. So that's pretty rare and awesome too. They're very, very rare. There's lots of them in our area, but their area of distribution is really quite little. So even though there's lots of them here, they're still considered, what is it when they're not extinct yet? Endangered, I think, or at risk, one of those. I think they're endangered, but they're endangered because of, sorry, I'm just trying to put a child lock on the pantry before I go out. Not for my child, but for one of our dogs who miraculously penetrates the circular door handle on a regular basis, despite the fact that he doesn't have fingers. And so to try and avoid him doing that, we got this here, which is a child lock. It had a thing attached here. You need to squeeze this in order for it to work and undo. I'm not quite sure how he penetrated that one, given that you need like prehensile fingers to do so, but he managed to get in, at which point he discovered an entire bag of psyllium husks, which for an adult human, the dosage is, recommended as 1 teaspoon a day for digestive health. He ate the whole bag and has had quite good poo since then. And so once we figured out that wasn't working, we have invested in this one here. And that seems to be successful, which is good because after the psyllium husk incident, he also ate an entire bag of coconut flour, followed by some magnesium powder, which I don't have here, but it was basically this size, almost exactly the same. He didn't open it inside because there was no evidence of it spilled anywhere. He took it outside onto the lawn. And once he was out there, he managed to unscrew the lid. Once again, quite a complex task, even for advanced primates like humans. And once he'd taken the lid off, the magnesium powder, he ate some of it. It was wild berry flavour from memory, and then proceeded to eat the little sachet here that says, "Do not eat." So luckily, we came home about an hour and a half after we'd left and took him down to the vet and paid $200 for them to induce vomiting, because that's the only thing you can do. And if we had have been any later, he probably would have got dead, because you've got a 2-hour window apparently. And I am just getting ready to go to Perth, where my husband Casper lives during the week, and then on the weekend he usually comes down, but he has got rowing lessons, and I'm just trying to figure out what to take with me for food and drinks. And I'm thinking I might take some protein powder with me, because breakfasts are the thing that I can't work out in the city without going to a cafe and spending $1 million on avocado on toast. Nothing wrong with avocado on toast. It's a good breakfast, but when you buy it at a cafe in the city, it's a good way to get broke. So I might just have proteiny oats or something, I don't know. And also I recommend highly this book here. It's by Julia Morris. She is an Australian actress. She almost exclusively has done comedy, and I remember watching her at like age 8 or 9 on a show called Full Frontal. And this book is very, very funny. I'm going to get in the car now. I'm going to pick up our child from school early and drive to Perth, specifically so I can get there in time to go to my husband's work and do a Friday afternoon blind cola tasting. I don't know why they're doing that, because they work in mining and specifically in the types of metals that go into recycled batteries. So that's fascinating. Meanwhile, they're doing a blind cola tasting. He's just asking me when I'm leaving. The answer is right now. I'm getting in the car now. I've probably forgotten all the things, but that's what happens when you have ADHD, which I do have. That is a thing I have. I didn't know I had that until I was 36 years old, but I do, and it made pretty much my entire life suddenly make sense. So if you have ADHD, I think you are awesome, and I am still kind of coming to terms with what it means and is, and how I can work with it, and how I can find the bits of it that make me awesome and what accommodations I can discover that make life a little bit less challenging. Yes. So yes, I found out about that. So actually that's a really good point. I probably forgot to take my meds. I am taking meds. They help me stay awake more during the day because, similar to people on the autism spectrum, often ADHD brains just can't filter out which bits of information are important and which ones aren't. So everything kind of comes in at full volume. And that is one of a few different ways that ADHD brains tend towards distractibility and sometimes sensory overload. And there is a bit of overlap between autism and ADHD in some ways, but also not really. So socially is like, that's not a thing. In fact, I'm very, very socially motivated. Speaking of, not that at all, do you like my dreadlock? I got a new dreadlock the other day. My friend Kristen did it for me because I wanted one, but I really wanted one that I could hide if I had to go to something very fancy like a gala ball, which happens maybe once every 2 years. But what I had done previously was I'd gotten one just like on the side, and then when I had to just have my hair down in a real formal way, I couldn't hide it. And it didn't really go with the whole formal thing. So what she's done is she's done it from like underneath. So it's like fully underneath, and then I've pulled it through so it rests on top if it's up in a like ponytail. But if my hair's fully down, then it sits right underneath and it's quite thin, so I can just brush my hair and no one can see it. So I think that's genius. And thank you to Kristen for my amazing. I really like it because it's pretty and it's got beads and it's got little purple bits. And these are colours I would never, ever have chosen earlier in my life because I was very much more like I don't want to say the word tomboy because I feel like that's outdated, but I was basically a bit of a grub that just liked to climb trees and not like typically the kind of girly girl that you might think of when you think of girly girls. And so I was like very anti-pink for most of my life, but now that I have a 5-year-old who is so obsessed with all the pink things and all the unicorns and all the things, like I'm not really prepared emotionally to parent a child that is so motivated by sequins, but I have one. So as she has developed and delighted in the pink things and the sparkly and the glittery things, and I have delighted in watching her delight in the things, she's just slowly turning me into a unicorn. So now I actually genuinely quite like pink and sparkly. So that's new. And look, these nails, focus. They have got glitter and I picked them myself. So that's fun. So I'm just waiting in the car because I went to pick up Millie, my daughter, and she cried because she said she hadn't done news yet. News is about things that move, like toys that move. So she's got a little wind-up doll that can crawl along the ground, and apparently that's very, very important that she shows that to her friends. So I am just waiting in the car which means I'll probably be too late for the blind cola tasting, but that's life. But I did want to show you this tiny, tiny car because it's cute. Look. So small. So small. I like that car. So I'm going to park up near her and wait for her to do her news and then take off and try not to speed because I'm quite motivated to do a blind cola tasting. I'm not sure why. It just seems like the sort of thing that one needs to do at least once in their life. I'm pretty sure that I will be good at it because I have a good palate and I think I will be able to recognize the good old Coca-Cola from the Pepsi, from the home brand cola, from that weird one from Italy that tastes, that, you know, the bitter one, Ginotto something. I'm sure I horribly mispronounced that. I apologize to all the Italians. This is Kings Park sunset. So Millie and Casper are having a little play and those beautiful trees being lit up by that sky, and there's lots of crows and magpies. So we had a good drive. I listened to Mao's Last Dancer audiobook, which is one of my favourite books, but I've never listened to it audio before, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, pretty excited for dinner. Don't know what we're getting yet. I'm going to vote for some Middle Eastern meze, but our house is a democracy, so we all have to vote. So we'll see what happens. And in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy that beautiful sun and those beautiful leaves. So pretty.